Hi, my name is Phoebe He. I am a curriculum developer at Oracle. In this demo, I will explain to you what SOA governance is. First, let's take a look at a case study on MY Company. MY Company is a telecom company that has been implementing SOA for a few years. It has been very successful and has been growing very fast. It has also acquired a number of other companies. Although it has high profit margins, however, the company is currently having problems. Let's hear what people in the organization have to say.
Hi, I'm Marco, a developer at MY Company. I spent a lot of time creating a particular service. Then, a month later, I learned that another group had created exactly the same service. What a waste of time. I constantly start working on one project, but then I'm assigned to another one. It seems that our group doesn't plan ahead or know what the priorities are. I spend so much of my time fixing bugs. I think we have a lot of bugs because we don't have enough time to test properly.
Hi, I am Tom, the enterprise architect of MY Company. I'm trying to keep track of all of our services in Excel spreadsheets, but it's a nightmare. Other architects have access to the spreadsheets, but don't tell me when they update them.
Hi, my name is Beth. I'm a customer support representative. Customers are really complaining about the bugs, slow performance, and how we promise but miss the deadline. I wish IT would get it together. I'm tired of people yelling at me.
I am Madhvi. I am the operations manager of MY Company. Our group worked over the weekend to roll out a new application. It turns out that we had to roll back because it had a negative impact on another critical application. My team wasted all that effort. System performance is sometimes really slow, and it takes our team a long time to figure out where the problem is.
Hello, I am the CFO. My name is Ravi. IT projects always go over budget. We spent a lot of money on implementing SOA, but I'm not seeing the return on investment.
Failure to provide effective SOA governance exposes your organization to the serious problems like lack of collaboration and trust in shared services, ineffective communication of priorities and best practices, limited visibility of SOA assets and information, poor alignment between organization goals, processes, and policy enforcement. No formalized, reliable way to measure SOA progress, business value, and return on investment. Now that you have a basic understanding of what problems MY Company is facing, how can they solve these problems? SOA governance can help them. What is SOA governance? SOA governance has 4 key components. A SOA governance framework is a set of principles, processes, structures, standards, best practices, policies, and tools that assist in defining an appropriate governance model that enables an enterprise to meet its stated goals. These governance processes and policies affect the way stakeholders are directed, administered, or controlled. A SOA governance framework defines the rules and procedures for making decisions. Successful decision-making depends on management that empowers the relevant stakeholders to make informed decisions and to act accordingly, as well as access to timely and accurate information on which to make these decisions. SOA governance establishes and administers policies in an environment to influence and enforce actions and behavior that align with business needs. Assets are elements that an enterprise has created, acquired, or leased that support its business goals. A key objective of SOA governance is the harvesting and the management of the key assets to ensure that they continue to deliver on their investments. To summarize, SOA governance is a process that you implement rather than a product that you buy. It helps organizations develop and maintain a SOA that delivers measurable and sustainable business value. SOA governance is the creation and administration of policies to influence and enforce actions and behaviors. Now, let's go back to our case. My company adopted SOA governance as a solution. What was the impact of the solution?
We now have a reference architecture and best practices, so when I need to create a new service, I can create it more efficiently and quickly. There's a clear process to follow, and I can reuse a lot of services. There are fewer bugs, and I have time to work on the really interesting problems. Management seems more organized and gives us clear priorities. I actually get to finish projects that I start. I'm much more satisfied with my work.
We finally have a central repository of services, so I can get a view of service dependencies across the organization. I can make policies and recommendations about developing services. We created a reference architecture to ensure that services are created more consistently and with best practices, and that they work with each other.
At last, promises to customers are being met and there are not as many bugs. So IT is doing something right. The customers are certainly a lot happier and I'm not getting yelled at anymore.
We can perform impact analysis to ensure that new applications work well with existing applications. Before rolling them out, my team is prepared before we perform any rollouts. Now, I have a dashboard to view usage metrics, and I can tell which services and business processes are performing well and which ones are not.
Reuse of services and increased efficiencies have brought software development costs down. I can get metrics and measure the business value of SOA. I'm finally seeing a return on our SOA investment.
By adopting SOA governance, an enterprise can lower cost and reduce risk, improve decision-making, manage change effectively, align business strategy and IT investment, foster enterprise-wide collaboration, and so much more. Hopefully, you now understand what SOA governance is and why we need it. To see how you can implement SOA governance using Oracle Enterprise Repository, please view the next video in this series. I'm Phoebe He. Thanks for watching.